We're clapped in.
All right.
Ready. So we
Ready?
can just start whenever you want to go.
Go.
Okay.
What's up, y'all? It's B&E Sports Talk. Back again after week one. Let's get pumped.
It's kind of hard to get pumped right now.
It is a little hard to get pumped.
That was a awful week one as a football fan. And for
Not to mention my Broncos. I mean, what a sorry display of under 17 points once again, when all we needed to do was get over 17. We would have won.
yeah, you just needed 18. Man, I don't know. That was like all around. Like we started off with Bama taking an L.
Oh,
A bad
man.
L.
Why'd
Really
you
bad L.
remind me, man?
How'd you forget?
Because it was so traumatic. I sent it out of my mind. I just, yeah.
I don't know. We don't look good, like at all. That was atrocious, actually.
I mean, it is our worst team in the last 10 years, and it's obvious. We don't have any marquee players, anybody that's that name. Our defense is all right, but even then, we got smacked around the other day by like Texas destroyed us.
Dude, our secondary is supposed to be our best unit on the whole team.
The worst thing was Malachi Moore at the beginning of the game, too. Get pumped up. And he walked out there and just completely gave up the game.
Dreamed the game away.
Yeah.
From the get-go.
And Kool-Aid, too, man. Kool-Aid was getting burned.
Yeah. Nobody played good. Nobody on our team played good. Our offensive line looked bad. Milrow looked terrible. I mean, it was just bad. But yeah, so, that's how we started our weekend off. And then we rolled into Sunday. Brady actually came back and had a nice win on Monday night in fantasy. But, I mean, my team shit the bed across the board in our main league.
Yeah, that might have been your worst week ever to start the year.
Oh, to start week one? Yeah, that's my worst week one ever, for sure.
Because usually you come in on week one going pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, I actually took an L last year on week one, but I put up, the second most points in the league that week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not used to it, but it's okay. Shit happens. I literally just picked the worst performing player on every single team, I feel like.
It happens sometimes like that. It just bad script, or those guys just aren't, part of the plan yet.
Or really what it is the fact that nobody plays preseason anymore. Nobody goes to training camp anymore. And week one is the new preseason, basically.
Right.
But it counts.
Yeah, it counts. And that stinks. I wish it didn't count, because there were a lot of teams that looked like trash. Not to mention all 29 quarterbacks looked like garbage, except for, all 30. There were two quarterbacks that were memorable to me. That was Mac Jones and Tua.
I want to throw in Brock Purdy and Jordan Love.
Okay, yeah, I like them too. I just threw those two out because they had the best fantasy performances in our league.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Which is sad as hell. I mean, actually, Kirk Cousins the way our league's set up, he actually had a pretty good game points wise, but he played like shit.
I was about to mention him until I realized how bad of a game he had.
No, he had 3 turnovers. On my bench, though, in our league, he scored 42 points. Joe Burrow, who was my starter, scored 8.2.
That's brutal. Jalen put up 24 points for me, which is on the lower end of points in our league.
Yeah,
that kind of hurt. Put me in a position where I needed truly the unthinkable to happen, and that was Josh Allen to throw the game away. And while throwing the game away, throw every single ball that he did complete to Stephon Diggs. And he did it.
Yeah, it happened.
It worked out, and I managed to win the game. I thought that I was going to be just like you on that starting week where you had the second highest points, but you took the L. It would have been like that for me.
That sucks. But it's okay because you came out with a dub at the end.
Yeah.
Hang on. I'm seeing how many points Tua scored in our league just to put it into perspective of
63,
what a good
I believe.
Okay. Hang on. right here. I'll just confirm that. Yeah, 63.1. So in our league, that's what a really good week of quarterback play looks like. And Joe Burrow got 8. What is that? Did you hear that noise?
Ghosts.
Dude, I don't know what that was. That was some freaky shit going on.
Well, we are in an old building, so
It might be.
you never know. All right, but what a stinky week of fantasy.
Yeah.
Just basically, I mean, it was just classic week 1. Everybody catching up to steam, to par. There weren't really any blowouts or shootouts like I thought there was going to be. The only blowout was Green Bay
and Dallas.
But
the only good game was the Chargers and the Dolphins. It was the only game that lived up to any sort of hype that I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I think the Falcons scored more points than pretty much all the other teams.
And, hey, the Falcons' defense looked pretty good.
Yeah, but
granted, it was Carolina, but hey.
I'm not going to be
kudos.
buying that until I see something, a real opponent, a real offensive opponent against them. That was Bryce Young's first game.
I wish he would have done better. But he had some good signs.
He got 1 touchdown.
Good signs of life.
Right? 1 passing touchdown?
Yeah. Just fine.
No, I mean, that's good, though. Get that first one out the way. Now it's time to get your first dub out the way.
Yep.
I don't remember who they play this week, but it don't matter. We'll get into that on Sunday. I don't know. The Falcons didn't use Kyle Pitts. They didn't use Drake London. They just ran the ball every play and really pissed me off for fantasy purposes with Kyle Pitts. And I mean, I'm sure if anybody started Drake London, you're just like, what the fuck?
I know plenty of people have Drake London as their wide receiver 3 in wide receiver 3 leagues. And some people probably even played him at flex in deeper leagues.
Yeah, I mean,
in just wide receiver 2 leagues.
He's going into week 1, most people thought he was a fringe starter. So I know he got played in, just a lot of leagues, and that just sucks. I played Kyle Pitts, and it sucked, but getting a 0, like when the guy plays every snap, basically, that shit burns.
Yeah, big time.
Damn. Bijan looked good, though.
Hey, yeah. So did Algier.
That's really who I want to talk about.
Algier might have even looked better than Bijan. Maybe just because he knows the system a little bit better, but
bro, he was good last year, and he was good on Sunday.
Yeah, people forget he was a 1,000-yard rusher last year, or like a 900 and some.
Yeah, well, he's gonna do it this year, I think, because I assume Bijan will get more workload, as the year goes on. Hopefully in the passing game, and they pass the ball. But Algier's not going away.
No.
He's going to run up a lot of just yards this year. Bijan's going to get all the nice, good plays probably. Even though Algier did get those 2 touchdowns, I think as the year goes on, we see that shift more towards Bijan. But regardless, Algier's going to be a big part of that team. Cordell's old as hell. He's already hurt. I just think that he kind of fades away, and it's a 2-man show. That's good for both of them. I think
even if they want to keep Cordero involved, they're going to find a way to keep all 3 of them involved. They know that the running backs are the heart of their team right now. They cannot get anything else going.
That's a fair point. They need to start Heineke.
Please. I mean, you can give Ritter like 2 more weeks. If there's nothing phenomenal coming out, I mean, he did win.
They won the game.
They won until he loses and it's like his fault multiple times. That's when I take him out.
I get that. Like, I understand that at this moment in time, that's technically their franchise quarterback. I hope they don't really believe that, but the coaches probably want to treat him as such, so I don't think they want to ruin his confidence by just taking him out the second he loses. But at the end of the day, this is the NFL, and you're here to win games, and Taylor Heineke's a winner.
Right.
Like, put the man in the game, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
I I really, 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 really want to see him play. And if he does, it's going to be really good for Kyle Pitts and Drake London.
Yeah.
And for Bijan, too. It's going to be better for everybody.
It'll open up that downfield. When the downfield opens up, that backfield opens up even more.
Yes, the Falcons could legit win some games. I really believe they could have wild card hopes. I mean, shit, they could win the division.
They could win the division in that division. Granted, the Saints don't go off.
I think the Saints are going to win the division, but
I agree.
The Falcons, if they play Heineke, could win that division.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a terrible division.
Literally.
All right. Well,
what was the other games in that division? The Saints beat Titans 15-16 or 16-15, I guess. They didn't give up a single touchdown on defense, which I guess isn't the most huge accomplishment against Tennessee, but it's the NFL. It's still hard to do.
Yeah.
Their defense was legit.
It looked good, and it's shut down Derrick Henry for the most part. He had a couple catches that broke loose and a decent running average, but he didn't have a touchdown or anything that was sizable enough to change the game.
Yeah, he didn't have like a Derrick Henry numbers game.
Yeah. Something that you would expect them to have against the Saints.
Yeah. So yeah, their defense played well. What do you think of Derek Carr?
I thought he did pretty good. He did a good job of keeping all the receivers involved in the game. Olave caught a lot. Rashid Shaheed caught a lot. Michael Thomas caught a lot. Michael Thomas looked good, healthy. I really liked what the Saints looked like. If they just can piece a few more things together and break out of that rust. There was a little bit of rust, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, if they shake out of that funk, they're going to be really good.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I really think they can succeed. And, they obviously were passing the ball all over the Titans because Titans have a really, really good run defense. So we didn't even get a chance to see Jamal break loose yet. But they're playing Carolina, I believe, this week. So
that'll give them a chance.
Yeah.
For sure.
Look for some Jamal touchdowns this week.
Yeah.
But they were fun to watch. It was actually a close game. That was one of the few interesting games of the weekend. It wasn't necessarily the best viewing, show, especially when Titans were on offense.
Right.
But at least it was close. And Derek Carr, I mean, he led the team down the field at the end. It was good to see. I don't know. It's just good to see Derek Carr doing that. I like him. I just can't stand the Saints.
I hate the Saints. It's also because we got some goober friends that are Saints fans. They just know how to drive you nuts. Saints fans know how to drive you nuts.
Dude, at work today, these two people were talking. I wasn't even in the conversation. I just hear them say, Saints fans fucking suck. I stood up straight out my chair and I was like, you're damn right.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, Saints fans stink. Cowboys fans are not that much better, though.
Dude, don't even get me started on Cowboys fans. I love the Cowboys, but
they're annoying though.
Yeah, the stereotypical Cowboys fan is no.
Yeah.
There goes my computer.
Well,
damn.
Let's let it go. We can just run down the list. Let's go game to game, starting with Thursday. First off, we had Lions Chiefs. A lot of people thought it was a banger. Some people thought it was a letdown.
Man, I thought it was good.
I thought it was good too.
It was just, I guess it was our first taste of football, so you really couldn't throw anything at me that I wouldn't think was good.
Yeah.
But I mean, shit, the Lions won the game. That's all I needed to see for it to be good, really.
Right.
I don't care that Travis Kelce wasn't playing. The Lions won. The Chiefs lost. It's awesome.
They would have won even if they had Travis Kelce, I'm convinced.
You think they would have just found a way?
I think they would have found a way. They would have had to play, they would have catered more towards Travis Kelce.
The game would have just been a different game.
Yeah. And if they were covering Travis Kelce, their receivers were garbage. Rashid Rice looks nice, but Kadarius Toney is a brick hand. Sky Moore, brick hands still.
Yeah, no, it was just it was a terrible effort all around by KC.
Yeah, I mean
I
it
say
was
that. That's not true. The defense played good.
Mahomes. It was just Mahomes and defense. That's it.
Pretty much. I mean, the defense looked pretty damn good without Chris Jones, who they just got back on the contract. They just agreed to a deal, so he'll
Yeah,
be back week 2.
the guy that was filling his spot looked really good.
Yeah, he did.
I figure he's probably going to stay on the field a little bit more. May give him a reason not to pay Chris Jones the $30 million at the end of the year.
Is that like incentives, or like did they what they agree to?
I never saw. I don't think they ever released the contract details yet.
Okay, I haven't seen it either. So yeah, I mean, that'd be funny though if they sign him to a thing that's just full of incentives and then play the other guy all year.
Right. That would be awesome.
Oh man. But yeah, the Lions though. Jared Goff looked good.
Jared Goff looked good. Amon-Ra looked good.
He looked so good.
Josh Reynolds looked good.
Yeah, Josh Reynolds had a good game. And then Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. That was a solid looking duo.
I wish they would have given Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit more run, you know? He was running the heck out of the ball and catching the ball when he had it. And they just kind of phased him out. They kept giving David Montgomery a ton of carries, which I understand. Like, you paid the man to come and do that, but ride the hot hand sometimes. Like, Jahmyr was out there going crazy, and then he got like an 18-yard gain and then disappeared from the game.
Makes no sense. You know, that's my RB2 in our main league. It sucks getting the 8 points, but I don't really care. I mean, what I saw out of that guy was so promising.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like you said, they just need to figure out a way to give him the ball more. David Montgomery had 21 carries, and Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, had 4, and then 2 catches on only 2 targets. So, obviously, his usage is only going to go up from here. I think by the end of the year, they're going to be a lot closer to 50-50 touches-wise. David Montgomery will still probably be the lead guy out of the backfield, but we're going to start seeing them use Jahmyr Gibbs everywhere soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited about that guy. He's gonna be the guy that brings the Lions offense like together. And then when they get Jamison Williams back in week 7, oh my God.
I can't wait to see Jamison out there healthy and like fully fledged in the offense.
Yeah, he has this whole time to recover from whatever injury he's dealing with right now. So
hamstring.
Good. Just sit for 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good for a hamstring. That's really all you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, he can't do anything with the team anyways. He has to do everything he's doing
by himself.
Yeah, away from the facility. In some cases, that helps because sometimes you can get a little bit more attention.
Yeah, he's just going to be with his own person every day.
Hopefully it works out for the best. I'm sure Lions have provided him with a pretty good doctor, whoever he's sitting with.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They're exciting, man. They're going to be so fun this year. Do you think they win the division over the Vikings? Came out and took a loss.
That is going to be one of the more interesting divisions this year because Green Bay came out looking good.
Way better than I thought they would.
Chicago came out looking like trash. And the Vikings were, they just kind of look like the Vikings. They're going to walk out like trash. And then they're going to throw together a series of wins that somehow manages to put them into playoff contention. And, they're like, if the Vikings do figure it out, then they're going to be really good. And they'll probably win that division.
You would assume the Lions win the division. But then they come out and lose week 1 to the Bucs. Like, I guess that's just a Vikings L. That's a type of loss that the Vikings take. Type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they'll beat some of the best teams in the regular season.
Yeah.
And they'll beat them, like, with confidence, Like, you see the game and you're like, damn, like, these guys can do something.
But they take some weak-ass L's.
Yes. I don't understand it. I guess they play down to their competition.
They do. They're the definition of playing down to competition and playing up to.
Yeah.
I wish I could understand it. Like if Kirk Cousins could do what he does in his good games on a game-to-game basis, he would be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. But he doesn't do it. He still is because he gets that guaranteed $45 million year to year to year to year to year. But other than that, like he'd have a nice long-term contract.
I don't think he gets 45 million, bro. It's like
It's
30,
35. I think last year it was 42 or something like that. It goes up and up every year,
Oh, okay.
basically. So
I didn't realize that. But anyways, though, Buccaneers look decent. Like way better than I thought they'd look, at least. Baker didn't have a turnover. That's really why the Buccaneers won the game. You know, the Vikings had 3 turnovers and the Buccaneers had 0.
Yep.
And, you know, they still only won by, what was it, 3 points or 2? I think it was 20-17.
3, I think. Let me check.
Either way, though.
Yeah, 20-17.
Okay, yeah. But, I mean, yeah, the Buccaneers defense, I thought going into the season was going to be mid at best.
Yeah, I mean, they looked good.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say they have a chance to do anything, but
they can have some fun playing upset with certain teams.
That's what I was about to say. Like, watch out for them. Like, watch out betting against them.
Yeah.
Because, like, your team will probably either smoke them or the Buccaneers will come from
nowhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of those teams I stay away from. The game was kind of boring, though. I hate watching Baker Mayfield play quarterback.
It was a really boring game. Yeah, and every time the Vikings got something going, Kirk would turn it over.
Yep. Classic Kirk.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson looked really good, though. So,
oh, yeah.
Whoever had first pick is happy.
Yep.
Happy with him, anyways.
Jordan Addison is another person that everybody should be really excited for. He showed some good promise that game.
I'm starting him week 2.
Yeah.
I left him on my bench in all the teams I have him on week 1 just to see. You know, I just wanted to see how it goes because, you know, KJ Osborne was listed as the second receiver on their depth chart going into the game.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to see what happens. So he had ample targets. He had a touchdown. They used him all over the field. It was good. He's good to go. Like, I'm pretty much locking him in for the rest of the year as a flex or wide receiver 3 because he obviously has way bigger upside than that.
Oh, yeah. And he's fast, too. Just wait until he starts getting some downfield shots. It'll be nice.
Yeah, man. I'm not going to say he's the next Justin Jefferson by any means, but, like, he can be, like, a top 15 receiver. I really believe that. Like,
yeah.
Just seeing the little bit I just saw, that guy is crazy talented.
Adam Thielen with wheels.
That's what I mean, bro.
That's what he needs to be.
Like, the Vikings could end up fielding, like, 2 wide receiver 1s or at least 1 and a high-end 2 by the end of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see that happen again. Jordan Addison was somebody I wanted on my team, and I didn't make it around to getting him.
It sucks when it doesn't work out to get the people you plan for all offseason.
Yep. Yep. I didn't get a single one of my sleepers except for Deion Jackson, and that idiot walked out and gave me 2 fumbles.
Well, you saw Evan Hull got put on IR.
Yeah.
So
bonus.
Yeah, it's pretty much just Deion Jackson for now until Zach Moss comes back.
I think Zach Moss has a chance to come back this week.
I don't know about that guy. He never has impressed me.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not a fun running back to watch.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
He never has been relevant for fantasy whatsoever.
No, not at all. Even when he had his shots with the Bills, he didn't really do anything. Everybody was excited for it, but he didn't ever do anything.
I think it was
what's it called? It was very underwhelming.
Underwhelming as hell, yeah. He really is. I don't get that guy. I mean, he might end up getting a bunch of touches or whatever, but they're going to result to nothing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
It's not going to do anything with him.
Yeah. Save your waiver spot on him.
Indeed. Just wait for some people in your league to make some full moves, and you'll be able to scoop up some good guys after the waiver wire, especially if you're high.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess that means in the NFC South, dang, so the Buccaneers are 1-0, Saints are 1-0, Falcons are 1-0, and the Panthers are 0-1.
Yep. Sounds about not right.
Nah, I know, because like we all expect that's a division that a bunch of L's are going to be coming out of. For that division to be 3-1, like starting off the year, that might, like the NFC West or East, excuse me, last year with the Commanders and the Giants and the Cowboys and the Eagles, all having as many wins as they did. That comes from all of us beating our, out of division games.
Mm-hmm.
And when the whole division does that, it looks like better than it is, basically.
Yeah.
Because like Washington was a decent team last year, but will they win 8 games?
Mm-hmm.
And the Giants won like 9 or 10. I think they won 10 games. I feel like they weren't that good. They just played really well out of the division. And then they were still taking their L's to the Eagles and Cowboys. Like bad ones.
Yeah.
Like we would expose like how shit of a team they were. And then they'd go out. And I guess they just had easy schedules. And maybe that's the thing with the NFC South this year. Or at least they started off easy. I'm interested to see how this rolls. I think the Saints have a pretty easy schedule.
They
I was
all
rolling
do.
through it.
All the NFC South has a pretty easy schedule. Or at least it got ranked that way.
Yeah. So look for them to maybe be a surprise like the NFC East was last year. Maybe not to the same degree, but just a bunch of wins. Yeah. Like it might end up being Carolina and Buccaneers right around 500, and then the other two with like 9 to 11 wins each.
Yeah.
That would not surprise me.
That'd be cool to see.
Okay, what other games was it?
Yeah, next game we'll go to we'll do a letdown. Bengals Browns.
Dude, fuck this game.
I mean, when you have to turn a game off for Cardinals and Commanders, it's that shitty. That's a bad game.
It was such a bad game, bro. Like Joe Burrow did not. He couldn't complete like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 1, just at the guy's feet over and over again. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
I don't know what he was looking at. I don't know if they were having a communication issue or what, or if it was just classic Bengals week 1 coming out and looking like sorry smack, and then they're going to come back in the next few weeks and pull it together. I don't know.
I really don't have an explanation for what happened week 1. There is no explanation for that, but I do believe that week 2 is truly a new week for the Bengals.
Oh yeah, it has to be. If they can't turn a new leaf out of that, they're screwed for the season severely. Again, the Browns defense is not by any means a strong defense.
No, that was purely the Bengals just playing awful.
Terrible.
That wasn't the Browns stopping them. That was just Joe Burrow coming out there and sucking for 4 quarters straight.
Yeah, I would have never expected that.
Dude, it was so bad.
Yeah.
That really surprised me. But coming into week 2 though, they're playing the Ravens, and the Ravens, they won against Houston obviously, but they didn't really play a good game on offense. So I think both of those teams are just going to go at it this week.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game. I think it'll be a little higher scoring than people anticipated it to be.
I think it's going to be really high scoring.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Bengals get a win, but regardless, I think this game is going to be around 60 points.
Yeah, it'll be a big game. It'll be fun. It should be a fun watcher. If we get let down again, I don't know. Bengals are going to be on hold for my watching until they start showing some signs of life.
If they play even if they don't play more than 10 times as good as they played last week, they're not worth watching, because that wasn't even a high school football team could have got more yards than them.
Literally
playing the Browns.
It was terrible.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life in the NFL. That was some like 2016 Browns.
Right. Brandon Weeden.
Yeah.
Yeah, awful game.
But Joe Mixon looked relatively decent for what it was,
Yep.
for the situation. And I guess on the Brown side of the ball, we have to talk about Deshaun Watson. He actually looked pretty good.
Yeah, the Browns. I mean, they put together 28 points, right? 24 points. And better than a lot of teams can say. So, that by my means, my opinion, it's pretty good for a week one of Browns that didn't get a lot of ride together. So, it's nowhere but up for them.
We'll see about that. I'm not convinced if it's nowhere but up because the Bengals played so bad. Like if the Bengals let them score 24 points and then just played how the Bengals usually play on offense, the Browns would have lost that game.
I thought the defense did all right though for Bengals in the moments that it needed to. Like it was giving the offense opportunities, every opportunity it needed to stay in the game, to run away with the game, but it didn't.
You're right. You're right. The Browns defense, I mean, it did play pretty well. Or Bengals defense, excuse me. But Deshaun Watson was still able to pretty much do what he wanted. He just looked good. I'm not going to say he looked like fully returned to Houston form quite yet, but he looked really good. And if he does keep getting better and growing with the team, then the Browns are a legit playoff contender. That's going to be a fun division too.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of wins coming out of the AFC North this year, I think. Well, maybe not with Pittsburgh.
They looked awful. That'll be the next game we talk about.
Okay.
So,
good. I'm excited about that one. Man, but yeah, Nick Chubb, he did his thing.
Caught some balls too.
Yeah, it was really nice. What do you have? 4 catches?
4 catches for shoot. The yards don't even matter.
That's what I was about to say. I don't really care how many yards he got. He got 4 receptions. That's huge for people who drafted Nick Chubb.
It's 4 extra points that you weren't going to get last year.
Pretty much. Pretty damn much, bro. I'm so excited about Nick Chubb. That is one of the few guys that actually seem to just rise above week one. He didn't care about any of the other stuff going on around him week one. He just sat there and produced and did his thing. Well, seems like the walls just fell off everything else around him.
Right.
All over the whole league. But yeah, Nick Chubb just sat there and did Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb. You love to see it.
Yeah. I think Amari got hurt.
He should be okay though.
But yeah, I expect him to be playing week 2. I'd just leave Amari in your lineups for the rest of the year pretty much. That's a solid wide receiver too, I think.
Yeah.
I know he didn't produce crazy.
He will.
But he will. Yeah, he will.
Just give people time to wrap around a little bit. All right, next up, Niners Steelers. The Steelers look like a can of garbage.
They were so bad. But the 49ers look so good.
Yeah, thank goodness.
They look so good. Brock Purdy looked right on point, just how he left off. That team is going to be right back in the NFC Championship and hopefully the Super Bowl this year.
That's where I think they're going to be too. They just look fluent. They know what's going on. The team knows what's going on. And everybody knows their role. Ayuk looked darn good. Like as we said, he's the wide receiver 1 there, not Debo. So play him as a wide receiver 2. We said that in our past videos.
100%.
Constantly.
100%. I don't know how many of y'all play on ESPN, but going into week 1, ESPN said that Ayuk is at best San Francisco's 4th option, and he's at a risky flex play. Dreaming.
Yeah.
Ayuk is
Poor
legit.
choice of words.
Yeah, Ayuk is legit. We all knew how good he was coming into the league, and he showed flashes of it his rookie season. And then, the whole COVID thing happened. He came into camp out of shape and basically got benched for a year, essentially.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks he sucks because of how bad that one season was. But, man, that doesn't mean anything now.
No, he just had to get back on track. Last
Yeah.
year, he was a very solid wide receiver, too. This year, he's going to do it again.
100%. I really think he has top 12 upside this year. Obviously, you don't expect 129 yards and 2 touchdowns every week. You can't expect that out of anybody. However, there's no reason that he won't continue to just ball out.
Yeah, there's no reason at all. I mean, San Francisco likes to spread that ball out. So, like in the games where they're spreading it out and around and feeding it to everybody, his stats are going to go down. But those are really the only ones that I foresee where, like, if it's not a passing script, he's not going to have a lot of points.
Yeah, but I mean, even if it's not, like that guy can get 4 catches and go crazy with those 4 catches.
Yeah, he can turn it into anything.
Yeah, he's efficient. So lock him in for the year. If you left him on your bench for whatever reason in week 1, that sucks. But put him in and leave him in.
Go.
How'd Debo do? I saw him getting some catches out there. I didn't look at his final stat line though.
I didn't either. Debo is just one of those guys I stopped looking at because I'm always expecting him to do a hell of a lot better than he did. I'll take a look though. So Debo had 5 receptions on 7 targets for 55 yards.
Okay.
Which, it's not bad. It shows that he's heavily involved in what they're trying to do.
That's what I mean though. So like to me, that's just more encouraging for Ayuk because Debo had 7 targets and Ayuk was still able to get the ball that much.
Yeah.
That's really encouraging for me. And then McCaffrey touched the ball a lot.
It's going to be a high-powered offense.
They are going to score points on points on points.
It's going to, I see it. It's gonna be very similar to when Shanahan was back in Atlanta, calling those plays on the sideline. Offensive coordinator.
They were so good back in the day.
Really good. And we're gonna see a lot of Matt Ryan-esque stuff out of Brock Purdy.
Oh my gosh, that's the most exciting thing to think about.
And shit, people forget Matt Ryan had insane seasons. Matt Ryan has an MVP.
He's an MVP, yeah.
Bang. I mean, yeah, people just don't think about it. It's so easy to forget about. But yeah, Shanahan pumped that out. Watch Purdy come out and do great things. I'm not going to say the same thing as Matt Ryan because Matt Ryan is a gunslinger. But Purdy can do a lot with a little.
Oh, I like Purdy.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, watching him play week 1, that was just as, that was more exciting to me watching him week 1 than it was watching him play last year, even in the playoffs on that huge win streak that he went on. Because it just confirmed everything from last season to me. So I'm excited because last year, in the back of my mind, I was like, what if this is just a fluke? He's the Mr. Irrelevant at the end of the day. So it's like,
right.
What if this still isn't for real? What if this is just the 49ers being really good and he's just lucking into games, basically. And he's just on a hot streak, the hot streak of his life. He proved me, or he didn't prove me wrong, but he set it straight in my head. He's legit. And I have full faith in the 49ers offense and clearly in their defense.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be something to mess with for as long as Purdy's healthy. That's the only thing I can see messing with the angle of the career he's on now. He's going to be one of those quarterbacks that's going to be a solid name that we hear year to year to year for a while now.
Bro, I believe it. I truly believe he's going to have a legit NFL career with shit. I don't want to go too high, but he has Hall of Fame aspirations. Being on the team he's on
And as low as he was picked,
yes, like
mixed with, they're going to get a championship. It's just a matter of when.
if he gets a ring and he plays for like 15 years, I mean, that's asking a lot. But, today's quarterbacks, the good ones, do that. And shit, man. Like, he just has it. He has whatever it is, he has the it factor.
Yeah. Yeah, he knows what's up. His football IQ is just out of the roof.
They are so fun to watch. McCaffrey broke that big one.
Yep. It was kind of a letdown, though, to see that. I don't know. It's never a letdown. But McCaffrey didn't catch as many balls as I expected him to catch.
You're right.
He got like 4 balls.
Running a shit
He was
ton.
running a ton. And I don't know if I want McCaffrey to be running like that. If I'm a fantasy owner, that's a little worrisome. That's a lot of work.
It was a lot of touches, and they said that they weren't going to give him the ball as much.
Yeah, and they just turned around and did all that.
Yeah, so we'll see how he was healthy last year.
Yeah.
So maybe injuries are behind Christian McCaffrey. If they are, that'd just be awesome, because the only thing that's ever held that guy back in his whole career is injuries.
Yeah. I'd like to see him stay healthy. So maybe knock that work down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Commanders, Cardinals.
Man, the Cardinals surprised me.
Yeah, I mean, they came out with a little more life than anybody expected them to. James Conner looks fantasy relevant. I was surprised, to say the least.
Their defense was really the thing that surprised me the most. I mean, maybe the Washington they're clearly not firing on all cylinders, but maybe they just weren't ready for the game yet. But regardless of whatever it was, the Cardinals defense played a good game.
Yeah, that defensive end was insane. He had I think he had 2 sacks himself. It's a
touchdown.
I don't think he had the touchdown.
Did he cause the
fumble
for it?
I think so. Let me see if I can find his name on here.
Zach Ertz could be fantasy relevant.
Gardick.
If he ends up playing better. He's getting some targets.
You said who?
Zach Ertz.
Yeah. Yeah, Zach Ertz was getting his fair share of stuff. He had 10 targets yesterday. He was just not catching them for any yards. And Josh Dobbs didn't look that bad either. They just weren't giving him any shots down the field. The Cardinals line is also trash.
Everything on that team is trash, if we're being real.
The defense was okay.
I know, but
otherwise. Oh yeah.
I'm surprised that they hung in as good as they did. They covered the spread. Maybe they'll cover the spread in more games than I'm thinking this year, because I truly believe they were just going to get blown out for 14 games this year.
Yeah, I mean, their coach wants to keep his job. He didn't want to just walk in there and get sent out the next second. Although he is weak as hell. I don't know if y'all have seen those videos of him talking about how he needs real killers on the field. And that boy says it in the most monotone voice you ever heard.
Well, what did he say? He's like, which one of you drove here? Who took the bus? Did you have that fire in your gut? If you don't have that fire in your gut, you better leave, because you best believe me, I want real killers.
Oh my God.
What the fuck are you talking about, man? It made no sense.
No, I love that they posted that too. They took a whole video and put it out for the world to see how weak he is and how weak the team thought he was. All their faces were looking back at him just what
are you talking about?
What is this guy saying? Who are we listening to? I have no doubt that Jonathan Gannon has some good ideas or whatever, but
he's clearly not meant to lead.
That man was not pumped up for head coach.
No.
We'll see though.
I want to see the full speech, because that's just a little snippet. I can't imagine the other stuff he was saying.
Weak is just weak stuff. It's hilarious.
But Washington, though, Sam Howell did not live up to the week 1 hype, but he didn't lose the game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they won, which I think right now is really all you can ask out of Sam Howell. I don't know. If you, he worried, like he kind of scared me off of Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson a little bit as of right now because the Cardinals are supposed to be so weak. You know, they were supposed to beat him up, really. Like, I mean, both those receivers were supposed to have good games, especially Dotson. I don't know, like, to what extent McLaurin is still hurt.
Yeah, I expected Dotson to have more than 39 yards.
A lot more. And, like, a touchdown, too.
Yeah, he was a touchdown machine last year. That was one of his big bang factors about him. And, yeah, he just didn't do that yesterday or Sunday.
Hopefully they just get it together and continue to grow. Obviously, it's a new coaching staff with the, Bieniemy being in there as the coordinator. So we'll just see. That's going to be a work in progress all year, I'm guessing. Hopefully they can get better, throughout the season and start putting up some good numbers.
The Commanders' only goal should just, like, literally be
win the game.
To try to get things going, make Sam Howell feel comfortable, and see if you really have a franchise quarterback in Howell or not.
How long has it been since they're looking for a franchise quarterback?
Since they dropped Kirk. They had RG3 and Kirk. They drafted him the same year. They ran RG3 into the ground. Then they said, fuck Kirk, because they didn't want to pay him because they didn't think he was a real quarterback. And downhill went the Commanders. And they had Alex Smith, and he was doing good for those few games. And then RIP is
Alex Smith.
Alex
yeah.
Smith.
Yeah,
Who did I say?
You said that. No, that you just popped the idea in my brain. Oh, that's who I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
To me, Alex Smith was like the only true franchise quarterback that they've ran. Like that, has been the face of their franchise for like more than 2 years in our lifetime, pretty much.
Shoot, I think it was 2 years, and then that was it.
With Alex Smith?
Yeah.
That was it?
Mm-hmm. Alex Smith didn't last long at all. He got that terrible leg injury, and that was it.
I thought it was longer than that.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, he did play pretty well for them.
Yeah. I mean, they traded a decent pick to get him. So
that and it's just crazy to think about. He had that leg injury, and then he still went out there and balled again. No, I'm tripping right now. Didn't he play for the Chiefs before that?
Yeah.
Okay. He was so good with the Chiefs. Then Mahomes came. Then they sent him to Washington.
Yeah.
Then he got hurt. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
For whatever reason, I thought that he was playing as hard as he was in Kansas City after that leg injury.
Oh, no. After the leg injury, he just came back for that one game where he was like, I'm going to play. Like, it's cool. You're able to come back, play on your knee type of thing. And then that was it.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Jaguars, Colts.
The game was closer than it should have been.
I think the Colts looked a little bit better than most people expected. And the Jaguars looked about as how people expected.
The
Calvin Ridley is a dog.
Yeah, he is. Trevor Lawrence didn't.
He didn't do as good as you want him to. But it's a good baseline for where to start.
At least they won the game. Roll into the week 2 with some confidence.
Yeah.
Calvin
put up
Ridley's
30 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
ETN looked pretty good.
ETN did look good. Calvin looked good. Kirk looked good. The team overall looked.
Yeah, I saw Evan Ingram making like one really nice catch that I can remember. I don't know what his final stat line was, but everybody, kind of as we were saying, like the production's going to be everywhere, but especially Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, that team's going to be fun to watch. They're going to be a really good team this year, and just expect the Jaguars to stay competitive against everybody.
Yeah. I was a little bit discouraged by their defense allowing as much as they did to the Colts.
It's tough though. They didn't. I think that was truly just because you don't know how to gauge Anthony Richardson. You know, you don't know if he's going to run it. You don't know if he's going to throw. You don't know what he looks like when he's going to do those things either. There's no film to watch. Any film that they're watching at Florida has zero semblance to what they're going to see with him coming out of the Colts offense.
Yeah,
A pro
100%.
offense.
You're right. And I mean, Anthony Richardson, actually, he surprised me. I just expected him to be a product of the Colts environment.
Yeah.
And he seemed to, overcome all the noise.
He looked good.
He looked really good.
He made Michael Pittman fantasy relevant.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can probably anchor Michael Pittman in your leagues as a wide receiver 3 or flex play.
Yeah, I think that's like a very reasonable thought. And Anthony Richardson in standard quarterback leagues, I think, is actually a relevant quarterback too at this point.
Yeah, you can put him in on like games where you think his running is really going to fit the script, or maybe he's got to air it out or something like that.
Yeah, he looked good enough to like have on my roster.
Yeah, he's a rosterable quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And I would truly was skeptical. Like I didn't draft him anywhere. I had no plans to draft him anywhere except in Dynasty, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just scared of the Colts, and he rose above it. So I'm excited to see just how he is this year and really, his career. He shows promise.
Yeah, that's all you want to see from him this year. Like, Colts aren't expecting to make the playoffs. Nobody should expect the Colts to make the playoffs. But all you want to see is growth out of your quarterback and growth out of your defense.
Yep.
Yeah, the Colts set a good baseline for what they want to put up week to week to week.
But yeah, the Colts, they could easily win 5 or 6 games this year. Maybe more. I don't know. We'll see. They do play in a weaker division.
Yeah. That gives them a chance to pull off some more of those games. I don't really have any more to say about that game.
Yeah, me neither. I'm excited to see the Jaguars just moving forward.
Yeah. It's a very, like, I don't know. Both of those, I saw what I wanted to see out of both of those teams.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
Except for Trevor Lawrence.
Yes. And I don't see
it wasn't bad.
Him getting worse.
No. It's a good baseline to start with, like you said.
Yes.
Because look around all the other quarterbacks week 1. He did better than most.
Absolutely. Next, we've got Texans-Ravens. It's kind of a so-so game. I expect the Ravens to do way more than they did.
Yeah, they're playing the Texans defense, which was basically the worst at everything last year. And they were really just slow and boring. I expect them to get the rhythm together. Obviously, J.K. Dobbins tore his Achilles. That sucks.
Yeah.
Out for the season. But Mark Andrews wasn't there. That's obviously a huge thing that Lamar leans on.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, him coming back will be a big help for the offense. And then Zay Flowers, bro.
Zay Flowers looked really good.
He was commanding the field. I mean, he was just owning it. Like, everything went to him.
Yeah.
And he looked good when he had the ball in his hand, too. So, look for him to just keep thriving. If you drafted him, good job. Leave him in your lineup.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wanted to draft him because essentially my idea was that he was going to be Marquise Brown again.
Yeah, but he looked a lot better than Marquise Brown.
Yeah. So, like, it's like take Marquise Brown, same speed, better build, better hands.
Yeah. He looked really good. Way better than Marquise Brown basically ever looked. Marquise Brown would just like bust the coverage, go over the top, and catch deep balls.
All the time. All the time. That was the worst. I hated losing games to Marquise Brown his rookie year.
Yeah, and that's the other part too. It was all really his rookie year, and then he fell off.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Texans, though, I guess they did about what I expected.
Yeah.
They hung in the game in the first half, but they fell off.
I didn't expect a lot. Just I had fun watching the game. Watching C.J. Stroud, watching Will Anderson, who got a sack and a fumble. That was cool. Um, but they're just gonna build. You know,
Yeah, it's not time yet.
yeah, not at all. Not at all their time. The defense just kind of putting that kind of slump down on the Ravens offense more so than I was expecting was nice. It means the idea that D'Amico's got going down there is solid. I think it'll wrap around.
Yeah, yeah. As they get more talent, it seems like week one was a positive direction to be headed in
Yeah,
for them.
I agree.
They're still a couple years out, but
Oh yeah,
they seem to have a much better baseline than they have in the last 3 seasons, basically.
yeah. They just didn't know where they were going with Davis Mills. It's confusing.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll talk about another surprise: Rams and Seahawks. And the Rams looked good. And the Seahawks are supposed to be really good. The defense is supposed to be good. Offense is supposed to be solid. They were supposed to walk out and, be what we saw last year. And the Rams were supposed to be garbage, but the Rams look pretty darn good.
Man, yeah, that game was a huge surprise. The Seahawks, I was more surprised by the Seahawks losing than I was the Rams winning, I guess. I just expected the Seahawks to be legit. Like they were, like the Seahawks were good last year.
Yep.
And the Rams were not at all.
No.
And even with Matthew Stafford playing half those games,
Yeah.
they were not good. And like Cooper Kupp being out, like I was like, this is a lock. Take the Seahawks with the points.
Yeah. Well, we got introduced to Cooper Kupp 2.0.
Yeah, Puka.
Yeah. So he should have been all y'all's waiver claims this week. As we get our TikTok rolling, we'll start coming to you with waiver claims on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, we do need to do that.
Yeah. So we'll get those out to you soon. Check out our TikTok. Just a letdown of a game for the Seahawks. I didn't see anything that I wanted to see out of any of them at all.
No, they looked bad across the board, offense and defense, running and passing.
Yeah.
Nothing seemed to just be in sync whatsoever. But the Rams, like, to give them credit, they went on into Seattle and just owned them for 4 quarters pretty much.
Yeah. And the Rams look in sync.
Yeah, they do. They're going to win more games than I thought they would, for sure.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you had them at
2 wins. Yeah, and I knew they would win more than 2.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was thinking like 4, maybe 5.
Yeah.
With a quality win like that, with Seattle to start their season, I don't see any reason why they don't win like 6 or 7, 8 games.
Yeah.
They have they honestly could win 9 games this year. I really don't think they will do that, but they could end up with a winning record.
If they keep playing how they played on Sunday, then yeah, they have a chance to do a lot more than we expected. Anybody expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Seahawks were let down. I expect they'll be better than that going forward, though.
For sure. Eagles and Patriots.
That was kind of a surprise game. The Patriots, they had a true chance to win at the end.
Yeah.
They couldn't get a first down to save their life, but
No, they had their shot. They came back around and, they made the game competitive.
I really wanted them to win that game.
Yeah, that would have been nice to see. It would have been good for Mac, his confidence.
And it would have been good for Cowboys.
Yeah.
I don't really see us
Cowboys.
beating Philly in the playoffs in Philly.
Yeah.
If we get to the playoffs and have to play Philly, like it better be in Dallas if we want a shot at winning that game.
For sure.
So we need to win the division if we want any chance of doing anything.
Yeah, otherwise there's no chance.
No, we can't. Like we've proven time and time again over the last several years that we only win playoff games like at home, really.
Yeah.
I think we had one road playoff win game, but regardless, we need to be at home to play one of those good teams. So we got to win the division. Philly needs to take some L's And if they play at all like they did week 1, they will take some L's this year. They definitely did not come out looking like they did at the end of last year.
They changed their philosophy last year when they were up by a sizable amount. They didn't just sit on it. They kept building on it. They kept attacking and attacking and attacking until they had 40 something points, not just 25 points and then lay off. I don't know, maybe that was Gannon who wanted to keep laying that on like that or what, but they laid off the gas a ton, and it showed on offense and defense, and it's not good.
They were up, I think, 16-0.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, they just took their foot off the gas, and the Patriots eked their way back up in the game.
Yep. It wasn't good.
No, I mean, the Eagles, they played a all right football game. They didn't play terribly or anything like that, but
There was room for much better.
oh my God, so much. I mean, it wasn't anything close to what we were seeing last year. I guess that's the same for a ton of these teams. It was really just a bad week 1.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Patriots could end up winning more games than I gave them credit for initially. If they're able to hang with the Eagles, and again, no, I really think that was more so the Eagles not playing well than it was the Patriots, like,
For sure.
being in that game in reality.
Yeah. If Patriots want to be able to play games and stay in games, they need to hang in games, not fight comebacks.
100%. Yeah, that's their team's not built for that.
No.
Yeah,
They were lucky it was week 1 and everybody was just kind of playing like shit.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have too many other takeaways from that game. Mac Jones actually looked decent.
Yeah.
If he could get a first down.
Mac looked good. Jalen looked good. Demonte looked good. And AJ Brown looked good. Everybody did their thing. There was room for more.
DeAndre Swift had 1 carry.
That was a letdown.
Yeah, I'm sure his volume will come way up from that. Although I don't ever anticipate him being like a 20-touch game guy
Yeah.
in Philly. But I do expect him to be getting 10 to 12 touches.
He should.
1 carry is not enough.
No. Kenneth Gainwell was getting the main work through the air.
Isn't he hurt?
Gainwell?
Somebody's hurt, I thought. My phone's dead. I would double check.
I'm not sure. Regardless, though, yeah, Gainwell had, I think, 6 catches, 11 points. So it's decent production especially when you expect Swift to be catching the ball.
Yeah. Maybe DeAndre Swift is not all he's cracked up to be.
Maybe not. Maybe he's just burnt after all the injuries.
Yeah.
Cowboys Giants.
All right, cool. I was done talking about the Eagles. I'm ready to talk about the Cowboys.
Yeah, a real blowout.
Our defense put a beat down on those boys. Just wow.
What was it? It was the first thing since the 1940s. It was the first combination of everything that happened since the 1940s.
With all our defensive scores and stuff and special team scores.
Yeah, hadn't been seen in almost 100 years.
That's awesome. The Cowboys defense was legit. They're legit top 5 unit again.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for top 3, like Jets, 49ers, and Dallas. I'm hoping by the end of the year we can easily call those the best 3 defenses. But yeah, we just look ready to play football. We were one of the only teams that came out week 1 ready to play football.
Yeah.
Which is encouraging to see because if everybody else sucks, you would expect the Cowboys to be right there with them usually.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, the Giants they couldn't get anything going. Nothing. They could do nothing against us.
Nothing. They couldn't move the ball. There was nothing that just even resembled a flow. They couldn't get anything going at all.
No. I mean, Saquon had the fumble, and that was it.
Yeah.
After that, Rashad Bland returned it for a touchdown, and that was game pretty much. I'm pretty sure Tony Pollard started running the clock out at 12 minutes in the first quarter.
For real. was embarrassing. I mean, their top receiver was Darren Waller with 36 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, but on the flip side of things, on the Cowboys offense, I feel like you can't take anything away from that game to judge the Cowboys offense on.
No, the only thing that I can take away is that CD got a shit ton of targets, so he's obviously that wide receiver one. Brandon Cooks didn't get as many targets as I expected.
I heard he was banged up.
Okay, that makes sense then. He's banged up. I could believe that then. Because he didn't do anywhere near what I expected him to do or get the focus that I expected him to get.
Yeah, me neither. But that'll change. CD's been on the team for 3-4 years now, so Brandon Cooks is new. Just give that time to grow.
Yeah.
I really am hoping and believing that that's going to be the next like Amari Cooper, like CD Lamb, with Amari Cooper, what it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm really, really expecting a duo to come out by the end of the year or by mid-year acting like that.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, that's optimal coming up. I mean, y'all don't want to be the shit stain on Brandon Cooks' career.
No, because the guy's had such a great career with so many different teams. So
yeah,
we got to get him the ball, and he'll do his thing once we get the ball in his hands.
For sure. I agree. Broncos Raiders. We kind of hit on it earlier, just when we were talking about the scoring. But what a fucking shitty game. And what a letdown for like me and other Broncos fans to want to see like more offense and want to see more than 17 points, and we walk out that hole and get 16 points. And the team that beat us got 17.
Like, the funniest thing is what you said, like, last year. If you averaged 18 points a
We
game.
would have taken 2 losses
Yes.
the whole year. That's it.
Yeah.
Our defense is fire.
And you come out and get 16 points week 1 and lose by 1. You can't make this shit up.
No, I mean, that is truly, like, have you ever heard of a script? Like, NFL scripting that shit? That's scripted. Because nobody just walks out and gets perfect. Like, exactly what you needed. You know, like get lined up perfectly all the way through. 17 points.
Yeah. That just blows, bro. Y'all sucked. Y'all sucked. That's the only way to put it. Like, the Broncos did not play. They looked just like they did last year.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the plays were different, but the energy y'all came with was bullshit. Like, y'all came with the same energy you did last year, and it was terrible to watch.
Yeah. I mean, at least Russ didn't look like a complete and utter garbage. That's the only good takeaway and Javante looks nice. Being on both sides of the ball, passing,
Yeah.
or catching and running.
Yeah. No, he did. But, the one thing with the Sean Payton and his history of the Saints is that they historically would blow games to, like, terrible teams week 1.
Yeah.
And then they'd make the playoffs.
So hopefully we can just wrap around and figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. But
that battery just died.
But yeah, anyways, it was just a bad game. Other than that, it was just kind of a stinky week 1, you know. But we'll wrap it up there for
Jets.
Oh shoot, that's right. Okay.
Just talk, and then I'll flip the camera and talk, or I'll sit there and talk. It don't matter.
Yeah, here, we'll just fill him in. Evan's camera died, so he's gonna come over here and fill in when he's got some stuff to say. I'll start it off though. The final game is Bills and Jets. I enjoyed the game simply because of my fantasy, and there was nothing better than watching Josh Allen walk out there and shit the bed and throw the game away, and therefore I won my game. And it was nice for me too because Stephon Diggs had a great game. So all y'all that invested in Stephon Diggs over Devontae Adams or over Garrett Wilson or Amara, those guys that were all in the second round kind of bunched together, good for you, good for us. But man, R.I.P. Aaron Rodgers. That sucks. That his ankle went out like that. His Achilles went out like that. It made a slight tear come to my eye when I read that report this morning. Him saying sorry kid to Garrett Wilson. Because you know that hurts. Now he's stuck with Zach Wilson for the rest of the year, and that's nothing you really want to get stuck with. Fantasy prospects though, Garrett Wilson's probably a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, and he's got the upside for wide receiver 1. And that hurts for everybody that did that second round investment in him. There were a bunch of people that did round 1 investments even. But that's going to hurt unless they can find a viable replacement for Aaron Rodgers that's not Zach Wilson. But, man, what a game. I love that the Jets won. Their defense is legit as hell. I'm going to pass this off to Evan, and I will see y'all next week.
I'll just flip the camera. But yeah, man, Aaron Rodgers is out for the year. I really think that might have truly ended his career. Maybe one more year of Aaron Rodgers we get to see, and then he'll be done. I at his age, I really don't think he comes back fully ever from an injury as significant as an Achilles. But yeah, Josh Allen just threw that game in the garbage can and kicked it down the road. That was one of the worst performances, if not the worst performance I've ever seen by Josh Allen. I don't know what his deal is, but he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Don't worry. I know he probably lost you your week 1 fantasy matchup, but just keep him in your game. It's just like Joe Burrow. Like just leave him there. Trust the process. They'll be all right. The Jets defense though, man oh man, that's a unit. Those boys are nothing to mess with. They're gonna keep the Jets in a lot of games this year. Unfortunately though, the offense it's doomed with Zach Wilson. If you drafted Garrett Wilson like I did, I don't even know. I have no answers at this point because you can't really trade him for anything near what you paid for him to get. So you just gotta sit there and ride it out for now. Just see what happens and go with it. Hopefully Zach Wilson plays better with Aaron Rodgers, in the quarterback room with him on the sideline, being able to talk him up and give him advice throughout the games and throughout the season. But yeah, the prospects look pretty sketchy right now for Garrett Wilson going forward. Breece Hall, though, on the other hand, that guy looked good. 54-yard average on his first 2 runs, I think. He's sitting there 2 carries, like 109 yards. Just what a beast, truly. I think that he's going to be out-carrying and outpacing Dalvin Cook real fast. Just give him 2 or 3 weeks, and he's going to be the guy again. Unfortunately, when they signed Dalvin Cook, it threw me off of him. You know how high I was on him going into the season. But once they got Dalvin, I got scared. I jumped off the bandwagon, and I'm regretting it right now because that guy looks like he didn't lose a beat. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got on the Bills and Jets game. I'm excited to see both of those teams going forward and what happens with the Jets. But just all around week 1, it was a letdown. I'm sure lots of people lost fantasy games just truly shit play. Just bad quarterback play, bad receiver play, and some bad defense here and there. But anyways, I hope week 2 is better, and we'll be back at you. We're going to put some TikToks on Sunday morning before the game, maybe some in the meantime before then. Actually, we definitely will because Thursday's tomorrow, so we'll hit you with that daily stuff before the game. Other than that, we will catch you soon. Make sure to check out our TikTok and Instagram. Peace.